What up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 10 of Indy-Analysis. Today, we are going to talk about the Charlotte Hornets. I'm your co-host, Jonathan Fredline.
And I am Alan J. Pinion. And like Fred said, today we are talking about the Charlotte Hornets. There's been a lot of buzz around the Hornets recently.
That was... I cannot believe that just happened.
That was a 10 out of 10 joke.
You're proud of that, aren't you?
That's for y'all to figure out. Maybe.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe a little proud.
The Charlotte Hornets. Where... It's funny. You would expect by the amount of publicity they get and like posts they get on Bleacher Report, you expect they'd be like a top team in the league. No, not really. They were 10th in the East last year with a 43-39 record, head coached by James Borrego. Let's take a little look at their roster, what it looked like last year. The starting point guard, who hopefully you all know, maybe some of you love, maybe some of you are annoyed with. I don't know. It's pretty hit or miss with this guy. LaMelo Ball. Like it or not, the dude can ball.
two in one episode? Oh my gosh, what is going on?
Man, it's fun day. Yours was better because mine just used the same word. Whatever. LaMelo Ball. Then you got dynamic scorer and Terry Rozier at the 2. And then you got my boy. He's injured a lot, catches a lot of hate, overpaid, whatever. We'll get to that. Gordon Hayward. And then you got Miles Bridges and electric scorer at the 4, and then Mason Plumlee at the 5. And then coming off the bench, you got IT. Isaiah Thomas is back and relevant, sort of, again. So it was relatively new. Alan, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he join the team like halfway through the year last year, somewhere around there?
Yeah, kind of mid-season. No,
yeah.
Kind of mid-season.
So, yeah, it's too early to really tell, like, if that's a good pickup, bad pickup, that doesn't matter. We'll see. And then you got Cody Martin, Kelly Oubre Jr., the hottie. Not my words. Not my words. All teenagers. Yeah, let me get this straight. Not my words. Not my words. I'm speaking for all the female NBA fans, whatever. Yeah. PJ Washington and Montrezl Harrell.
Now that we finally got that out of the way, let's just talk about their lineup and what was wrong with them with some stats. So, similar to the Atlanta Hawks offense, Charlotte's offense was pretty potent. They were powered by point guard LaMelo Ball. Like Fred said, he is a baller. He is a talented playmaker. He has incredible scoring prowess, and he is 6'7", which is like kind of like Magic Johnson. You can and LeBron, you can see over the defense and throw some darts in there. So he is a great player, a great young player who's looking to develop into a perennial all-star and maybe even a superstar in his future. So he is a great piece for them. Last year, the Hornets had a variety of scorers who could all create a decent shot for themselves, but all of them could really knock down the 3, apart from maybe like Montrezl Harrell and Mason Plumlee. So Terry Rozier had a career year, averaging 20 points per game. So did Miles Bridges, averaged over 20 points per game. They were second in fast break points per game, which is obviously we saw a bunch of highlights there of LaMelo Ball pushing the ball, and they just got a ton of highlights from that. So the only problem with this team is that, similar to Atlanta, so Atlanta and them are pretty much the same. They don't really have...
Except Atlanta's a little bit better.
Obvious, for sure. But that they don't really have a great defense. They don't have one positive defender. And it doesn't really make sense to me because you got a 6'7" point guard who should be able to guard multiple positions, and you have a bunch of athletic players surrounding him. It just doesn't make sense that they're a bad defensive team. Going on with that, they don't really have a rim protector. Or they ranked 25th in opponent effective field goal percentage and 20th in opponent's points per game. So with no rim protection, the Hornets could easily get scored on.
Yeah, and really just to go back and just kind of nail home the fact that they do actually have a good offense. They might not have all the necessary star power. Like they have an all-star in LaMelo Ball, and that's really it. But they actually averaged first in the league in assists per game, which is pretty impressive, to be honest with you. Averaged around 30 assists a game, and like you said, second in fast break points. But as we are all familiar with the game of basketball, you cannot be any sort of contender, any sort of decent team really at all with a bad defense. as NBA fans, like we're asking the question, what is this team doing? Where are they going? And to be honest with you, no one knows. Are they gonna stick with this core that they have, LaMelo Ball and all these guys, and just kind of maybe pull some bits and pieces here and there and try to see what they can do? Are they gonna kind of scrap and completely rebuild? We don't really know. But the truth is, with what they have right now, I don't see them ever being above a 6 or 5 seed in the East, especially with how competitive the East is right now, how good those top teams are. I don't see them being above a 6 seed really at all.
Continuing that, we're going to go to their offseason moves, and let's start with their salary issues. And I know Gordon Hayward is your boy, but
don't diss him like this.
Bro is making $30 million a year to average 15 points a game and play 30 games.
I think that's reasonable.
15. Okay, let's just say he's discount Tobias Harris. He is hurting the team more than he is helping it as of now.
That's some strong words about my boy over there.
Hey, numbers don't lie, bro. Numbers don't lie.
Whatever.
But if this was Utah Gordon Hayward, then it would be fair. But this ain't no Utah. This is the gamer Gordon that we're getting.
Gamer Gordon.
Looking at another player, Terry Rozier. He obviously had a career year this year, averaging over 20 points a game. Is he really worth $18 million though? I mean, 20 points per game for $18 million. That sounds good, but Terry Rozier is an undersized shooting guard who's a negative defender, and to be honest, he's like an inefficient scorer. What valuables could you get for him? Maybe it kind of depends on what direction you're going. Like Fred said, the vision of the team. If you want to rebuild, then maybe moving off of him and getting more draft capital is good. But if you're trying to still compete for a playoff spot, maybe keeping him and taking on that $18 million is worth it as well.
This team tends to like how they're always in the spotlights and that with their highlights, their flashy dunks, flashy alley-oops. They're also kind of in the headlines for not so good reasons. Mm-hmm. 2 reasons in particular, with one of their star players and the other player off the bench. Miles Bridges and Montrezl Harrell are both got in a little trouble with the law, a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Both of them being arrested and facing a trial, and with perhaps jail time coming both their ways, and which obviously is not good, especially the fact that Miles Bridges led this team in scoring, and Montrezl Harrell was that backup center that they needed, or leaving them with literally only Mason Plumlee. So definitely not good news if you're a Hornets fan.
Bridges could be facing almost nearly 11 years in prison, which is if you think of somebody who threw their basketball career away, this is the guy.
That's
he
crazy.
Threw that thing. That's terrible. And what he did was inexcusable. So I think whatever charges he gets is probably worth it. So
yeah.
And Montrezl Harrell was caught with possession of illegal substances, so he faces up to 5 years.
Going off of that, let's just go over some of the offseason free agency moves that Charlotte did.
Yep.
They were able to re-sign players like Cody Marlin and Jaden McDaniels, and then they have yet to re-sign Isaiah Thomas. So, like I said earlier, it's kind of too early to tell with IT after only half a season playing. So we'll see what they do with that. And then Miles Bridges and Montrezl Harrell, obviously, not going to get re-signed anytime soon. Because even if neither of them, or if they go to jail and get bailed out, they'll face suspensions for sure. This is new, but perhaps they could sign Kemba Walker.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, so if we look back at the rotation, they had Isaiah Thomas at the backup point guard. So now that they haven't re-signed him, maybe getting another backup point guard to back up LaMelo Ball, somebody who can maybe keep up the offensive flow and the playmaking and the scoring prowess, maybe that would be something that they could invest in. So looking to the trades that they could do, the first two trades kind of deal with Gordon Hayward, your boy, and
don't trade him.
So the first trade kind of deals with if they're still looking to get into a playoff, maybe a play-in spot, maybe they would trade Gordon Hayward to the Mavericks for Tim Hardaway Jr., Davis Bertans, and picks. And though it may not seem like the smart move. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Davis Bertans are both capable shooters who can spread the floor even more. Tim Hardaway is an underrated defender. I don't think he's a plus defender, but he's kind of like the average, like the middle ground defender who's not going to be a plus or negative for you. And Davis Bertans, he's more of a negative defender, but he can stretch the floor pretty well. And the Mavericks get rid of that Gordon Hayward contract, which was, I think it was still multi-year, so they get rid of that $30 million, and they get 2, I think, 1-year contracts in Tim Hardaway and Davis Bertans. The second deal, this is more if they're looking to go into kind of a rebuild mode, and obviously with losing Miles Bridges and Montrezl Harrell, they kind of it's hard to sense that it's hard to pick up the direction they want to go in, with not making many offseason moves. So this trade could kind of set them towards that rebuilding mode and maybe set them to get more positive players in the future. So the Hornets would get Russell Westbrook and a future first round pick, maybe 2, and the Lakers could get Gordon Hayward and Mason Plumlee. So the Hornets get a backup point guard in Russell Westbrook who can run alongside LaMelo Ball, because LaMelo can stretch the floor a lot better than Russell. And then the Lakers get a scorer, a perimeter threat in Gordon Hayward, and a backup or maybe even starting center in Mason Plumlee who can rebound and not play great defense, but be a net positive on the defensive end. And the Hornets just drafted Mark Williams, a center. I'm not sure which college, but he's a tall center who's a great shot blocker from his highlights in summer league. He's a great shot blocker, has good rim scoring, so he could replace Mason Plumlee without difference, I guess, in production. Getting rid of those 2 contracts could be good for rebuilding and signing more free agents. This next deal talks about trading Terry Rozier, like we talked about.
Scary Terry.
And I actually like this trade for the team that's getting Terry Rozier. The Hornets could get Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent, and picks, and the Heat could get Terry Rozier. The Hornets get another shooter, and they get a good backup point guard in Gabe Vincent, and they get more draft capital for the future. In my opinion, the Heat definitely win this trade a lot more. But if the Hornets looking to rebuild, this would be a good trade to shut off Terry's contract. You do pick up Duncan Robinson's contract though, which is kind of annoying, but it's better. It's more manageable than Terry Rozier's at the moment. So I think that would be an interesting trade. And then another trade to Dallas, the Hornets could get Tim Hardaway Jr., Jaden Hardy, a rookie guard, and picks, and the Mavericks get Terry Rozier, another to replace the kind of Jalen Brunson role that the Mavericks had. You're
a big Jaden Hardy guy, I've noticed.
I am, dude. I think he's going to be pretty good. I think him, Shaedon Sharpe are going to be the 2 best guards in the draft, in my opinion.
Sleeper picks.
Yeah.
Everyone tune into the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
And who got Sharpe? Was that Spurs?
The Blazers.
Oh, the Blazers. That's what. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, tune in. See if Alan's right. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I would laugh if they're just both complete bust.
So that's kind of it for the Charlotte Hornets shorter episode.
That's about it.
Yeah. So they just had they had a lot of buzz around the wrong stuff, if you know what I
mean. He's back. Oh, let's go.
So
moral of the story, folks at home, have a vision, know what you're doing, have a vision and follow the vision. There's nothing you can't do. Follow your dreams. Tell us to Michael Jordan in the front office. Charlotte, my goodness.
That just about does it. You want to shout out the gram?
Let me shout it out real quick. I'm gonna do this one eyes closed, just to shake things up a bit. Everyone, please go on Instagram and follow. I'm gonna sound like a beggar. I'm not begging. Just go on Instagram if you wanted to.
If you want to
follow at the Pick and Roll Podcast __, baby.